The Great Wall did not rise from chance, nor from the simple stacking of stones. It was born first in the mind, in the vision that saw beyond the limits of a single lifetime. Mountains, rivers, deserts. These were not seen as barriers, but as paths waiting to be bound together by human will. To imagine such a wall was to defy the natural order, to declare that what seemed impossible could be made real. That vision was not enough by itself, but it was the spark that set countless hands into motion. Without vision, there would have been no direction. Without will, the vision would have remained only a dream. A vision alone is fragile, easily broken by doubt or fear, but when joined with unyielding will, it becomes a force that bends the world to its shape. The wall was proof of this. It stretched farther than the eye could see, yet each part of it began as thought, as determination, as a decision that it would exist, no matter the cost. The stones were heavy, the land was harsh, the labor endless, yet the will behind it did not falter. It is this will, not the stones themselves, that gave the wall its strength. Understand this truth: the world resists great visions. Nature pushes back, men grow weary, time itself seeks to erode all things. But vision armed with will is stronger than resistance. It can carve through mountains, tame rivers, and bend deserts to serve its purpose. The wall is not only a monument of stone, it is a monument of defiance, a declaration that the human spirit, when bound to a vision, can shape even the vastness of the earth. Every empire speaks of strength, but few leave behind proof that endures beyond centuries. The wall is such proof. It reveals that greatness is not a gift granted by fate, but a result of vision pursued with relentless will. Those who walked before us may have doubted, may have resisted, but the wall rose all the same, for the vision behind it allowed no weakness, no retreat, no surrender. That is why it still stands, not as a memory, but as a living symbol of what determination can create. The lesson hidden within the wall is not about defense alone, nor about the stones that form its body. It is about the power of vision and will united, the power to build what others cannot even imagine, the power to turn thought into reality, so vast it reshapes the land itself. This is the first secret the wall carries across time. Nothing is greater than the will that refuses to be denied. The Great Wall was not the work of one man, nor of one moment. It was the work of countless hands moving in rhythm, bound together by discipline and unity. No single soldier, no single laborer, no single leader could have stretched stones across mountains and deserts. It was only through order, through the gathering of many into one purpose, that the wall was born. This is its second secret. Greatness is achieved not by the strength of one, but by the discipline that unites the many. The task before them was beyond imagination: to carry stone across rugged earth, to climb steep cliffs with burdens on their backs, to raise towers where no road existed. Such things would break men if done without order. Yet discipline made the impossible possible. Each man knew his place, each step was measured, each act repeated until the wall began to rise. It was not brilliance or sudden inspiration that gave it form, but steady repetition, unwavering order, and unity that did not bend under the weight of hardship. Discipline is the binding force of empires. Without it, the strongest vision collapses into chaos. With it, even ordinary men become capable of extraordinary deeds. The wall stands as proof. Thousands of lives moved in harmony, guided by a single command, their strength woven together like threads in a vast fabric. Alone, each man was fragile, subject to exhaustion and despair. Together, bound by discipline, they became unbreakable. This is why the wall endures, not only because of stone, but because of the order that placed each stone where it belonged. Unity does not come without sacrifice. To move as one requires the silencing of the self, the setting aside of personal comfort, the surrender of ease. Those who built the wall did not act for themselves alone. They acted for something far greater. Their unity was not a choice of luxury. It was a necessity of survival. Without it, the wall would never have risen, and the borders it guarded would have fallen. It was their shared discipline that transformed individual struggle into collective strength, and collective strength into lasting legacy. The lesson hidden within the wall is clear: greatness cannot be achieved in isolation. Even the strongest will, even the most powerful vision, requires unity to take form. The wall teaches that discipline is not chains that bind. It is the force that directs energy into purpose. It is what takes scattered effort and shapes it into achievement that defies time. The stones may show strength, but it is the invisible discipline and unity behind them that made the wall unyielding. This is the secret the wall reveals to those who understand it. Unity forged through discipline is stronger than any stone. Behind the stones of the Great Wall lies a story, written not in ink, but in blood and sweat. It is easy to admire its vastness, to marvel at its height, to trace its endless line across mountains and deserts. But those who look only at its surface see only half its truth. For every brick placed upon another, there was a life that carried it, a back bent under its weight, a hand scarred by labor. The wall is not just a monument of strength. It is a monument of sacrifice. The men who built it were not spared hardship. They faced hunger that hollowed their bodies, cold winds that cut through bone, and heat that scorched their skin. Many never returned to their homes, their bodies buried beneath the very stones they carried. Yet their toil was not in vain, for their suffering became the foundation of something that would endure beyond their lives. The wall stands because their sacrifice was bound into its very structure. Without their pain, there would be no strength to admire, no legacy to inherit. This is the truth of all greatness. It demands a price. Comfort does not build what lasts. Ease does not create what endures. Sacrifice is the hidden cost behind every achievement that outlives its maker. The wall whispers this lesson with every stone. To those who look closely, it tells the story of countless souls who gave everything they had, so that something greater could rise from their struggle. Their lives became part of its body, their hardship sealed forever into its form. Sacrifice is not weakness, it is transformation. Those who carried stones gave their strength, but in return they built more than a wall. They built a legacy. Their suffering did not vanish. It was transformed into endurance that still casts its shadow across centuries. Their sacrifice reminds us that greatness is not measured by what we gain, but by what we are willing to give. The wall is proof that pain, when given for a purpose greater than oneself, becomes immortality. It is easy to praise the wall's stones, but the true power lies in remembering those who bled to raise them. Their sacrifice is the unseen strength that holds it together. Towers may crumble, sections may fall, but the spirit of their suffering endures, as long as the wall itself. To walk upon it is to walk upon the memory of countless lives who turned hardship into legacy. This is the secret carried within the wall's silence. Greatness is never free, and its price is always sacrifice. The Great Wall rises across the land like a serpent of stone, vast and unyielding. Yet those who believe its power lies only in its height or its length see only the surface. Time erodes stone, storms wear down towers, and the weight of centuries will eventually bring even the strongest structures to ruin. The true secret of the wall is not in the bricks or mortar, but in the spirit that created it. For the greatest wall is not one built of earth, but one built within the will of men. When enemies stood beyond the borders, it was not the stones alone that held them back. It was the spirit of those who stood upon the towers, ready to defend with their lives. The wall gave them ground, but it was their resolve that gave it meaning. Without their courage, it would have been nothing more than silent rock. Its true strength came not from its form, but from the determination it inspired in those who built and guarded it. Understand that no wall of stone can protect forever. Every barrier, no matter how tall, will one day fall. But the wall within the spirit endures. It cannot be scaled, it cannot be broken. It cannot be swept away by the passing of time. This is the hidden truth the Great Wall teaches. That real security does not come from the boundaries we build outside of ourselves, but from the strength we cultivate within. A man who has forged such a wall inside his heart cannot be conquered, even if the stones around him crumble. The wall endures in history because it reflects something deeper than stone. It reflects the will to stand against adversity, to resist chaos, to shape order from turmoil. This will does not vanish with age. It is passed on, generation to generation, stronger than any fortress. The Great Wall is the body, but the spirit behind it is the soul, and it is the soul that survives. To walk along its ridges is to be reminded that the greatest barriers are not the ones that divide land, but the ones that separate weakness from strength. The wall shows that the mightiest defense is not to hide behind stone, but to rise with unyielding resolve. This is why even as its towers weather and its stones crack, its meaning does not fade. For the real wall exists beyond the reach of time. It lives within the spirit that refuses to yield. This is the last secret the wall carries. True strength lies not in what stands before the world, but in what stands unbroken within the spirit.